It's just a slight follow on from what you were just talking about. And I
Yeah.
think, um, yeah, not just the ownership of those traits, like you say, but the judgment and comparison of them. So, I mean, like you say, people are born with these different personalities, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like when I was a kid, I was quite shy and quiet, and I think my parents thought that was a problem that needed solving, and then they have to, change my behavior. So that becomes like, well, that's a bad character trait, and we need to change it to something better. And I think if there's just an acceptance of what is as it is, then that somehow, I don't know. I guess that's a different point from ownership of the characteristics. But
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah, I
but
think
within
that, yeah.
with an animal, they already have that, like you say, like the dog, if it's if it's angry, if it's protecting its territory, it's just barking in that moment, and it doesn't think, oh my god, I shouldn't be angry, protecting my, anger's a bad emotion, I shouldn't be having that, and then it doesn't project some sort of comparison or
Mm.
on that. It just is for that moment, and then it's gone. That
Yeah, and
feeling.
it's the elongated comparison. Like in a sense, our mind is always going to compare. Like it's it compares things, but it's the taking it personally, like you say, like it's like moving into time with it rather than like that's you. And when that is you, then it becomes very big, like there is something wrong with you, you are bad.
Mm,
Whereas in the very instant of it, like they're trying to get you to be more chatty because they think that's better for you. And in the past, I've tried, say, with Khaleesi to get her to be less fearful. And if she was a child, she might have taken that on board. I'm saying there's something wrong with fear and it going into time. It's so tricky, this little tiny part of it's not that you have to get rid of these things, it's the getting rid of the bigness of them, like really taking them personally and making a
right.
you
Yeah.
out of them.
Yeah.
There was something wrong with you because you didn't speak. It's
Mm.
it's so interesting. My mum always used to. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to speak about my mum.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think then the same thing can happen maybe in spiritual practices, like some emotions are not considered acceptable if you're awakening, like fear or anger. Like again, like I was reading a book by Susan Siegel, which is quite an old book, and she's talking about fear, and she's saying because she had a lot of fear in her awakening experience, and she's saying the presence of fear only means that fear is present. It doesn't mean anything else. You don't have to create a story out of that.
Yeah. And if you go into it really in the moment, it isn't really fear, it is energy. It's an energetic expression happening in the body. Like
Right.
it really, it's just energy, rather than like a calm, relaxed vibration. If we saw it like sound vibration, it's like it's more, like when you watch you know, I don't know what that is when you're editing sound, they show you the movement
Yeah.
of the sound waves. I don't know what that is.
Like
Yeah,
God's just pressed all the
sound
piano
waves.
keys at the same time.
And you're like, and it's and then anger's got like a slightly different flavor. And this is what I like about Roger Castillo and Ramesh Balsaka's teaching is the idea of doership and shame, guilt, pride. No, so I have to do it in order: blame, guilt, shame, pride, and expectation. Because it's what that's pointing to is it's pointing to like these tentacles that go out after the initial feeling. So I don't feel like I personally wouldn't teach that guilt is wrong or blame is wrong, but it's the tentacles that go out. Like I wouldn't call it blame, but it's like it's appropriate for somebody to take responsibility, to be like, okay, you just you know, did this or did that, and for anger to maybe come up over something. But it's the tentacles which go out that really hate that person, that really blame that person. You know, it's like they are really bad and really believing that, and then really believing that you are right and you are superior, rather than it just being more a simplistic action in the moment. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
again, even saying that, then the mind can take on that teaching, and then you become wrong for having, you know, too much this or
Thought
too much,
about it.
yeah, too much, yeah. It's a very, yeah, this is why thoughts, words, ideas are always evolving. Not this, not that, not this, not that. You know, we say something and it's a comparison to something else. It's not like a fixed thing.
Mm.
So saying about Roger and Ramesh's teachings, then you go too far into that, and then you can see how that can become a new cage or a new idea that the person believes in.
Mm. All the words are paradox. Everything's both things.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, thank you.